If you see something, call. And actually, I'm really hoping it's me. I said, because if you see something, I'm the one that if you live in Hammond and you pay your taxes, you're paying me to check that person out who's walking down the alley with their hands in their pocket or in a black hoodie, walking around, look like, where the freak are they at? Could it be totally innocent? Could be totally innocent. He's looking for his freaking dog. I'm not a dog person. Could be looking for his 3-year-old. Well, then they should have called us too. Could be any number of things.
Absolutely.
Could be something clandestine. And I tell people all the time, freaking call. We're the police. It's not your job. Well, you can. It's not your job to go out in your alley at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, what the freak are you doing?
Absolutely.
You can do it.
Absolutely.
You can do it. But we're the ones that get paid to put our life in possible danger.
And that's where my anger comes out of this situation. I feel that basically I've been wrote off because of my activity in recording the police, because what happened down there wasn't serious, that it was just, oh well, no big deal. And that's what pisses me off, because again, if I commit a crime, I'm getting put in handcuffs and I'm going in there or I'm going out to Lake County. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not arguing with you. Right. So he stopped me from leaving tonight. If I would have physically done something to him, he would have arrested me. If I would have put my hands on him, even though I could have been totally in the right, I would have been arrested. I would have possibly lost my job. I would have attorney bills. But because he does something, there's nothing done to him.
No. I'm not the person who would do something to him now.
If I'm reporting a crime to you, is it your job to go investigate that crime?
Right. What I'm getting ready to explain to you is, if I go and investigate a crime and I believe there's cause for someone to go to jail, well, in this instance, we'll talk about your exact instance. If I believe that the officer has committed a crime, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the horn to my captain and my chief and start throwing it up the ladder like, hey, this is what's going on with this police officer. I don't do the hiring and firing. The folks who sit in there do the hiring and firing.
Absolutely, but
it's my job to get them that information for them to decide, are we firing? Or
I don't give a shit if he's fired tonight, tomorrow, next week. My issue is you swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. A crime was committed against me as a citizen. I am making that report to you. I want it addressed.
And what he is explaining to me, and again, you're talking two sides of every story. I wasn't there. That he was, just as you even told me earlier, he was running your license plate. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if I want to run your license plate, where am I going?
Okay.
If you can't get it, I'm going to the back of the truck.
I asked him, I said, am I being detained? And he said no, and refused to move.
Okay, again, I'm going to have to ask you. Refused to move like he was like butt up against your bumper? There was... I'm assuming you're purporting there was no way out.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm going to get out of my car. If you're pulled into a parking spot,
yep.
You're an officer.
Yep.
You're standing right here running my license plate.
Yep.
If I put my vehicle in reverse, what are you going to do?
I'm either going to run it, tell you to stop.
There's going to be an issue.
Yeah, there's going to be an issue.
So I was put in a situation where I could not physically leave. Regardless of the circumstances, whether he was running my license plate, whether he was doing the Mexican hat dance, whatever the case may be, I was put in a predicament where he stopped me from leaving. I wasn't detained. I clearly asked him, am I detained? And he said no. If I'm not detained, you have no legal authority to prevent me from leaving. I am free to move. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution allows me the right to travel freely and unmolested. He hindered my right to move freely.
Again,
that is a crime.
I'm going to tell you again, if you want to make a complaint, I have no problem with fielding your complaint, sitting in there, letting you fill it out. I don't even know if you have questions because you said you've done it so many times.
No, I just need the form.
Okay.
But my issue is it's not a complaint, it's a crime. That's where we have a disagreement at this point.
Yeah.
Because there's a blue line because he's a fucking cop that he gets special treatment and it's, oh, we'll deal with it later.
I'm not the blue line driver, guys.
You're on the side of... You're on that...
You don't know me.
I don't.
That's not even open for debate.
But you're on that side and you're protecting it. at this point.
Oh, I don't protect anybody. Again, you don't know me. I don't protect anybody. I don't care what you're doing.
Well, there's a crime committed and I want it addressed.
Okay, again, if you want to make a report, if you want to make a complaint, I'm the guy.
I want a criminal report sent to the prosecutor. That's what I want. I don't care what the policy is. I want law. The law is a crime was committed. It goes to the DA. I don't give a shit about Hammond police policy. Policy is not law.
What you're telling me is he stopped you. He confined you.
Yes, it was criminal confinement in my opinion, and according to my attorney.
What the officer told me, because I actually saw him, he came into the station, was that he was running your license plate.
Right.
And from there, it can be a gray area. Your word against his word.
Well, he admits that he stopped me from leaving, essentially by running my plate. How'd he get my plate? He stood behind me.
I'm going to the back of your vehicle, but I can do it from here. Again, that I wasn't there. I'm not gonna.
Do you know if his body cam was on? If it recorded?
It's supposed to be.
Do they record constantly, or just do you guys have to turn them on?
No, it records. Okay, it records for 60 seconds, and then, like, say when I activate it, it will jump back 60 seconds and start recording from there. So, and then, like, after that, it totally constantly records until I shut it off.
So I should be able to file a Freedom of Information Request Act, and the footage should be there, in theory.
I'm looking at you hearing, remembering what you said there about you filing these things, and again, all this stuff is above my pay grade. All I do is push the button.
It frustrates me though when you have a police department that you can file complaints and you can request things and you get zero response.
I would say I've been in situations, not with police, but I've been in
and
situations where no response.
and believe me, I don't hate the cops. I strongly dislike bad cops, and I strongly dislike rogue cops. I'm a supporter of the police department. I generally believe that a lot of cops in Hammond are good police officers. I do believe that.
I think it's that way across the nation.
But I think there's a lot more bad officers than what people want to admit to and want to make out. And I think there's a blue line that cops protect each other and cops cover each other's ass. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to totally cover his ass and you're not going to do anything.
No, because that means my job.
Right.
Thanks.
But I'm a firm believer in, like I said, this is a situation where if I